Hello, and welcome to a new podcast at DC, Global Ed Chat, the podcast where we share stories of learning without boundaries at Durham College. I'm Janine Knight-Golfa, Director, International Education.
And I'm Phil Savoni, an International Student Advisor with the International Education Office. Our goal is to help all students, those from Canada and those who come from around the world, learn more about what we offer and what's happening with our International Education Office.
We could just list every program, workshop, support, and so on.
But we think it'd be better to learn if you learn through the stories of the students and people involved.
On upcoming episodes, you'll hear from students who traveled to Costa Rica for their placement and loved every minute of it.
And on our future episodes, you'll learn more about International Education Week and how you can participate. Whether it's trying new foods for the first time or hearing from student video production producers who are screening films that week.
You'll also hear from students who have gotten some very special recognition, all because they participated in global opportunities just like the ones I've mentioned. So let's jump in. Phil, what are we talking about on this episode?
Well, don't let the name throw you off, but it's a long name with a short acronym. It's really just a program aimed at student persistence and joy.
Joy. I'm intrigued. Tell us more.
The International Student Mentorship Program, or ISMP for short, is a program that started knowing that the first year of school can be a challenge, and sometimes even more challenging when you're also thousands of kilometers from home. With ISMP, we pair first semester international mentees with an upper year international or domestic mentor. Mentors can also be DC alumni. The mentor acts as a live human resource. It's someone who can answer even the smallest questions, connect a mentee to just the right campus resource, or be a friend as the mentee gets used to life at Durham College. I could talk about this all day as the person who facilitates the matchups, but I'd rather you hear from the people going through it. Forum is a fitness and health promotion student from Gujarat, India. She arrived in Canada at 19, straight out of high school, and with many more questions than answers about everything from how to do online banking to finding a classroom. Hello, Forum. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, my first question is, take us back to the day you arrived in Canada. What was it like as someone who had just left home for the first time and flown halfway around the world?
Oh, it was challenging as it could be, and it was very intimidating. I didn't even know which gate to exit from to get the taxi or a cab, and I kept roaming around the airport, and then eventually I got a help from staff working there, ground staff, and then I had actually one of my second cousins pick me up from the airport, so I was constantly on call with him, like where to go, where do I come, and everything about that. But once I was in the car on my way to here, Oshawa, I was just looking out of windows, watching all my dreams coming true from years. I've been dreaming of having the best quality education here since I was in 9th to 10th grade, and I watching that dream coming true right in front of my eyes. It was very emotional and overwhelming for me, but at the same time, it meant something for me as I thought, oh, I have achieved something. I have gotten here on my own, and I'm making the best out of it for the years that I've being here.
What were some of the biggest challenges that you've faced so far since you've got here?
Oh, the biggest challenges would be banking, of course, and then sorting out the residents and the housing and everything. I knew about the resources, but I didn't know how to access them through the emails that I was constantly getting from the Durham College through my Outlook. And then I had some people who knew some of my friends, and through mutual contacts, I figured it out eventually. And then even something as simple as transportation, figuring out where to get on the bus, how to get it, everything, my bus pass and everything. At first it was pretty challenging, but once you get to know about everything, it gets easy, and now it seems piece of a cake, but then I was like, oh my god, where do I go, what do I do, everything like that.
Mm-hmm. And so would you say that the challenges that you just mentioned now are pretty much common among other international students using your experience?
Oh yes, I would surely say that, because people don't even know how to get the housing from, where to even the sources that they have, are they trusted enough or not. Some scams are happening there, and many people lose lots of money because of that. Apart from that, people also find this language barrier a lot, because we do give the IELTS exam to get here. It's an international English language system testing, but then even when you get a sufficient score on it, the accent and the speed that native speakers talk in English, it's pretty get to catch on, and everything like that. It becomes a little bit difficult to like kind of budge in and have everything like, okay, now I completely get what you're saying, but first when I was here, I was like, oh my god, can you please slow down a little bit.
So how did your mentor help with these kinds of challenges?
Oh, my mentor helped me a lot. I remember I enrolled for the ISMP from our International Student Welcome Program that happened in May, and then I enrolled in it. I got an email from my mentor saying, oh, hi Forum, this is me. He gave me his introduction, and then we kind of talked through the emails back and forth, and then we got to, and he was telling me about all the resources that were available, about the SARS, the library, about the textbooks that I can borrow, and everything like that. And I even got a chance to enroll for my physiology and anatomy subjects that I was finding a little bit challenging, because I was just straight out of high school and didn't have much background. I knew some of them, but pretty basic knowledge, not anything too complex, and it was a bit challenging. That's when he walked in and told me about the SARS and the resources that I can have. Then I was telling him, but with managing the classes, work, and even going for extra tutoring, that's just a lot. I don't know how I'll be able to manage for it. And then he told me that, oh, you can access it online as well. So, oh my god, wow. So I can access those videos and supports that I had for, like, even when in the night, like there are no office hours, I could do that on my own. And then I also got to know more about that international support that we have on campus, and then through that only I got to know about the scholarship that I could get based on my IELTS score. It was 1500, and I was like, oh my god, that's that's good.
And so from like an outsider looking in, we can just like imagine what what kind of impact that had on you, that the help that you were receiving from your mentor. But can you explain how you felt when you were getting that help from your mentor? Like how did that make you feel?
Oh yeah, sure. You like, just I said, like when I first got here, everything, even like small things were very challenging, and it was very overwhelming, because it's sounds as simple, but when you first walked into it, it's like very, very difficult. But then even like if I don't get the answers from him, just knowing that he's there and I can always reach out to him even for the silliest question, so it was very like supportive and very comforting, just knowing, oh, he's just an email away, I can just send him an email and get all my answers.
And so with that being said, how would you advise, or what advice would you give to first year or first semester international students considering joining the ISMP?
Oh, they definitely should. Even if they don't have much to like get help from, it's always better to just chit chat and socialize, and knowing people who've been through that phase that they are going through right now, it helps a lot of with contacts and everything, it socializing. And when people first get here, I have one of my classmates who first got here and didn't leave his basement for like 15 days, and he was feeling very depressed. And having the people you can connect to, it's very comforting and fun.
Yeah. And then my last question is, how can mentees make the most of their mentorship experience?
Oh, I would say just know that they are there, and like reaching back when they are asking you questions, you like, oh, when they ask you how are you feeling, it feels like home. You are right at home. People who are really genuinely concerned about you, they want to help you, they want to offer their help the best they could. And a lot from that, actually, they can get to know about all the workshops that's been happening, because when you are new, you don't know where to get all
Yeah.
this information from, and they
Exactly.
have all the information, so they just pass on to you. It's like, oh, I just got to know about this fun thing happening on campus, if you're interested, you should look into it. And just like that, it's very helpful. It's like a resource but informal, like everything. It's like having a friend just right by your side, just an email away.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you so much, Faram. That was all my questions for you. That was Faram Patel, a fitness and health promotion student from Gujarat, India. So, of course, if you have a mentee, there must be a mentor. So joining me to offer that perspective is Jade Beek, a human resources student right here in Oshawa. Welcome to Global Ed Chat.
Hi.
So, why were you interested in becoming a mentor?
So I actually heard about the program, through one of my teachers. She's very passionate about it. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? If I can relate to anything, it is the loneliness that you feel when you first move away from home, right? So I had moved to Fleming to go to school, and that's only an hour away. So whatever loneliness I was feeling from that short of a distance to my home, right? I can only imagine how hard it is for someone who is coming here from a whole new country and culture, right?
So what inspired you to get involved in mentoring international students?
So during my time at Fleming, I lived in a residence called Severn Court, and they were set up pretty cool because you didn't just live with domestic students and then international with international students. You lived with some domestic and some international students. And so that time that I had spent at Severn was very cool because I had learned about new cultures, and I had helped people in the same way that the mentors do here, right? So with the online banking, I helped many a roommate get themselves an online banking. Another really big thing, like this is just like a fun little fact, but like even things as little as eggs. When certain countries, when you buy eggs, you get to keep them on the counter. You cannot do stuff like that here. You have to put them in the fridge. When you buy them, they go bad. So it's just little things like that I had learned along the way that I'm like, well, that could be helpful to people who are now enrolled in Durham and just moved here.
Yeah. And so you mentioned the ways that a mentor can help a mentee, but how do you see being a mentor benefiting you as well?
So I feel like being a mentor is very beneficial because you just learn how to communicate better with people who are coming here, and they have different cultures or accents. Accents is a really big one. Even in the classroom, when you're communicating with people who come from areas with really heavy accents, after a while you start, learning it. And I think that's important for right now and in the future because immigration is happening, right? Like in the workplace, you do work with people whom you sometimes have a little bit of a communication issue with.
Yeah, and I think it also kind of opens the door to new cultures that you wouldn't otherwise may have experienced, right? So that's I think another reason, just kind of outside looking in. Another good experience or why it would be beneficial to be a mentor in this program. So based on your experience at Fleming, what would be some key indicators of a successful mentorship relationship for you?
So a really important factor that needs to be there in order for the mentorship to work is comfortability. As a mentor, I need to ensure that my mentee is comfortable coming to me, otherwise it defeats the purpose of the student being in this program, right? If they feel they can't ask me questions about anything, doesn't even matter what the topic is, it ruins the program effect for them.
Yeah.
And for myself, because it's just as important for me to learn the skills of mentorship as it is for them to have me as a mentor.
And then my last question here is, what final thoughts or advice would you like to share with our listeners about the importance of mentorship for international students?
So some final advice. It does not hurt to be a mentor, honestly. Everyone has something that they can offer to other students. And I think that through offering that, you're helping someone become less lonely, you're helping someone find their way through the school easier. Everyone's paying for the resources that the school has to offer. And I think that as a second year who has a much more understanding than someone who's in their third week right now, it's important for someone to be able to tell them, yeah, you want to go to this department for that, or you want to go here for this.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much. So that was Jade Beek, a student in human resources from Oshawa.
So those were fantastic learnings. What stands out for you most, Phil, from what we've just heard?
Yeah, so one of the things that stood out for me is that the ways in which there are many ways that a mentorship program can be helpful, not only to the mentee, but also the mentor. There's intrinsic value to it, and there's network opportunities, and then there's also a chance to make new friends.
Yeah, I think you're so right. I mean, to this day in my professional career, I have a mentor. I've been a mentor. So I really see the value for mentors to start at this opportunity to mentor new people relating to their experiences, and also to be mentored and to have a mentorship relationship just takes us to those heights and those opportunities that we didn't know were possible. So at Durham College, we have something called it's called the International Student Persistence Framework, or ISPF, like ISMP, ISPF. We love our acronyms here. Phil, what is this, and how do you think it connects back to this mentorship program?
So according to our academic plan at Durham College, it's committed to establishing and augmenting internationalization and global engagement initiatives. So to achieve this, important steps are detailed within the framework for international student persistence to lead to greater attainment of our commitment, one of which is to recruit, support, and retain an increasingly diverse group of students, including an increased number of international students. So the framework for international students persistence defines that there are areas of persistence and initiatives within each area. The 3 areas of persistence are interrelated. They work together to support holistic international student persistence. The framework is designed to enable greater success and retention of international students at Durham College. So the ISMP is one of those initiatives to help achieve this goal, as it serves to enhance the international student experience at DC and help both mentees and mentors be successful.
That's awesome. And I think we have heard that both a mentee forum and a mentor, Jade, have gained something through this program. So how can others get involved as mentors or mentees?
Yeah, so the students can apply through our program webpage. You can simply either just Google Durham College ISMP, or International Student Mentorship Program. You can also find our information on our International Student Guide on our website. So if you go to DC's website and you click on the International button there, you'll get to our section of the website, and you'll find our student guide, which includes a way to apply through or to the ISMP.
Amazing. So we hope a lot of people will get involved. It's got, like we said, benefits for everyone. So thank you so much, Phil. Thank you, Forum. Thank you, Jade, for joining us on this first episode of Global Ed Chat. Follow us on social media at Durham College International and at DC Education Abroad. You can also connect with us for more information at durhamcollege.ca/international. So I'm Janine Knight-Golfe.
And I'm Phil Savoni. Thank you for spending time with us. And we'll see you next time on Global Ed Chat, sharing stories of learning without boundaries at Durham College.